All right, now you brought in a box of something, and you've never done this before, Trey.
I brought donuts,
Dun, dun.
hot fresh donuts.
Dun, 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 dun.
I brought donuts. Who could ask for anything more? Yes.
What do we got? What do we got?
Be good humans, be good humans, be good humans, or we will think you suck. Be good humans, be good humans, be good humans, or we will think you suck.
Anybody who wants a donut, come into the studio and grab a donut. This is from my local Tasty Donuts in Tarzana. No, they're not sponsoring us. But you look at this. I mean, all the huge, right? I'm gonna go for an old fashioned. I'm gonna go for a chocolate old fashioned. I didn't bring any napkins. You want something, don't you?
I don't eat sweets.
I know.
I don't.
I know, but you still, there's a part of you.
There's a part of me.
Your inner 10-year-old wants this.
Oh, yeah, but I can't. It's not only I can't, but I just don't eat sweets.
Okay.
If that was like a big block of cheese,
All right,
or...
Do you still want to be able to look at them while we do this show?
It doesn't bother me to look at them. No.
Okay.
Yeah, but...
Well, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if our audience wants to look at them, but here's the thing. I love donuts and donut shops.
I can tell.
I love coffee shops.
Yes.
I love diners.
Uh-huh.
I love cafes and restaurants of all kinds. And I know this is a shared love of ours.
Oh, yeah. Love restaurants.
Yes.
Both dives
Yes.
and some of the finest restaurants. I like a great steakhouse.
Oh, yeah,
Just
yeah.
Great steakhouse and tied for Italian food.
Is it rude for me to eat while we talk?
No, not at all.
Okay.
Not at all.
Okay.
In fact, why don't we just all take a moment and just stare at him? Take time out of what's going to be a busy show.
It really is going to be a busy show.
Just watching him masticating
on a cake.
That's
good vocabulary.
On a donut cake.
Okay, so yes, restaurants we both love, but
Yes.
all different kinds.
Yes.
So is it possible? Mm-hmm. And by the way, these don't even have to still exist. They don't have to be fancy.
You know, you've spewed donut on me like 3 times already.
Okay, I'll
And look
stop.
at your microphone.
No,
don't. No, this is part of living,
All right.
man. Go ahead. Eat away.
Is it possible for you?
Yeah.
It's tough for me, but is it possible for you to name your top 5 favorite restaurants?
Yes, that would be incredibly tough. Like I said, you can
go 10 if you want.
Okay. There's one in particular I want to tell you about.
Okay.
For a very good reason. But I will say, generally speaking, like I said, Italian food. There's some wonderful Italian restaurants. But I'm a big fan of a great steakhouse. That when you walk in, you smell the steak, you smell the potatoes, you smell atmosphere is everything to me as well. So I will suggest to you, if you've not been on Wilshire Boulevard
here in Los
Angeles, there's a new restaurant, been open about a year. It's called Steak 48.
Oh, I still never been to this place.
Oh my God! Now, along with the food, it's the Master's Brothers, so you know the food's going to be amazing.
Okay. Sure.
But along with the food, the icing on the cake is the room itself. I've never been into a more inviting, airy experience. It's just an amazing thing, and it's only been open a year, so everyone working there, really good moods. They're happy to be.
Perhaps they haven't worked in the hospitality industry very long.
I don't know. But the restaurant I wanted to tell you about, I do have a favorite, and it goes back to me doing my improv group in Chicago.
Oh, so it's back there.
We had heard, it's in Chicago. Okay. We had heard that there was this great restaurant. It was a restaurant bar lounge.
Sure.
Open late hours for all the entertainers in Chicago.
Yeah, you got to have a place like that.
Yeah. So the actors, the comedians, the musicians would all go. So now it's just filled with artistic people. So after one of our gigs one night, we decided to check it out. And we're sitting there in the lounge having a cocktail. And out of nowhere, a bell starts ringing.
A bell.
It kind of sounds like the kind of bell, only a little louder. But when you go into like a shop and the thing's over the door, okay. So that was odd. Didn't know what it was about. And but everybody started kind of giggling. People around me kind of giggling and laughing.
Okay.
And about 30 seconds later, a woman walks out of the women's restroom, and everybody stands up and applauds and cheers. Yeah, way to go. So of course I had to ask the bartender. And I said, "Excuse me, but is she a celebrity? Because I don't recognize her."
Fair question.
She goes, I don't know if she's a celebrity or not, but I can tell you she's probably very new here."
Oh no!
I went, "What's going on?" And he explained that in the women's restroom, there is a huge mural on the wall. This place, by the way, was called West of Eden.
West of Eden.
West
all right.
of Eden.
Okay.
And there's a huge mural in the women's restroom on the wall of Adam and Eve.
Okay.
Now, Adam has a fig leaf, but it's not painted on. It's an actual fig leaf covering his privates.
Yes, of course.
So what happens, people love when new women come.
Yes.
The woman goes in, she might get a little curious,
Right.
so she reaches down, lifts
Naturally.
up the fig leaf, which, by the way, is attached to a cord. And the cord is attached to a bell outside the restroom.
Yes.
So every time there's a very curious woman in there just wanting to check out what Adam's got going on, the bell rings.
They're outing themselves.
And we clap and we stand and we clap. So that was but also the food was delicious. And it was just, like I said, a room, a place for artists and performers.
That's
and
incredible.
It was wonderful. Isn't that a great idea?
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to steal that somehow.
How about you?
Well,
Favorite
listen,
top five?
top five?
Okay.
Yeah, I can go top five.
All right.
Beginning with one that doesn't exist anymore. It was in Tulsa. This was a place that I loved as a kid called Crystal's Pizza. I loved it because it had a movie theater inside it where they would show old like Laurel and Hardy movies and so you'd get a piece
that's
of pizza
cool.
as a kid and watch an old silent movie or whatever. Here in Hollywood, not far from where we sit right now, Musso and Frank.
Many times.
Which is, certainly old by LA standards.
Red vinyl booths.
Over 100 years old.
Grouchy Italian waiters,
Yes.
the kind of like you sit down and you barely looked at the menu, and he comes up with his pad with a red uniform on. And goes, "What do you have?" And you go, "Well, can I? I'll be back," and then it walks off. You have to know what you want really quick.
That's exactly right. A bit of pressure, but always a great meal and a great vibe, great history, and I know you and I both love that.
Love that history because in the back door, if you go through the parking lot in the back door, there is the original menu.
That's correct.
Baked potato.
That's correct.
10 cents.
That's correct. And
T-bone steak, $1.25.
That's right. Yeah. And one of, I think Hollywood's first payphone is in that restaurant. Yeah. And, it's one of those places where wherever you sit, like, oh, this is the Rolling Stones table. Oh, this is the whatever.
Yeah. There's going to be this is the Brian and Trey table.
Yeah. Well, one can only
pretty
hope.
Time soon.
You know where we might have a table is at my next favorite restaurant, which is also an old beloved LA institution, which is Dantana's in West Hollywood. Yeah. I know we both love that place. My late father-in-law's name is on that menu, and
I'm there every other Friday night or Saturday, or it's just great.
I love that joint.
It's so small and ridiculous. It's a little teeny place. The bar is bigger than most of the restaurant, and the chairs, the booths are like 2 feet away from the bar. But it's hard to get a seat.
It's hard to get a seat
because of the history. Frank Sinatra, Sammy Davis Jr. used to
Everybody.
sit there drinking all night and chain smoke.
Yeah,
and you will see celebrities.
Yeah, there was an Eagles song written at the bar. Yeah, Take It Easy or one of those, Peaceful Easy Feeling, one of those. Another restaurant, and this tends to be a rule, I think, this is my rule, but usually the better the view, the worse the food. There are notable exceptions to this, and for me, one of my favorite restaurants of all time is the Jules Verne at the top of the Eiffel Tower.
I never made it to the top. I got halfway up, and the line was so long.
This place is unbelievable, and again, it couldn't be more romantic or more beautiful.
Yeah,
so that's it. And then
I didn't know there was a restaurant up there.
Oh, dude, you got to make a reservation like a year in advance, and it's great. And then the last on my top five is a place in New York City, which is an Italian restaurant that's kind of subterranean. It is subterranean, but it's called Scala Nutella. And what I know you would love about this place is the minute you walk into this restaurant and sit down, they just start bringing you food that you haven't even ordered. They like slice some meats and they have some vegetables roasted or whatever,
nice
and they just start bringing things to the table. So you feel like you're in someone's home.
Was this going bad? Why are you giving this to me? That's fantastic.
But it is that kind of thing, and I know that you and I are aligned in this. Like, okay, what makes a great restaurant, right? To me, it kind of boils down to three things. Obvious.
The food.
The food has to be great, right? But consistently great. Like, each time you come in, it's going to be good.
And they care about it. You can tell they care.
Exactly. Also, consistently great service, right? Sure. Even if they're sort of grouchy and they want you to get to your order, like...
But they do that for the theme of it, though.
They do it with love because they love this.
Are you ready yet? No, I'm not. Yes, whatever you want, bring it to me.
Right.
I don't care. I'm scared of you.
Want
I'm
great
very
food,
frightened of you.
You want consistently great service, and then...
The vibe.
The vibes.
The vibe.
consistent vibes. And we were just, because we have this dining group called the Diners Club, and it's devoted to LA's culinary history.
Yep.
We were just at a place last Saturday night called The Prince, that opened in 1927 in the Mid-Wilshire area, actually now Koreatown.
I'd never been. I was so blown away by the vibe.
The vibe.
Room. Yeah.
I mean, it's just, you knew the minute you walked in, like, oh, this is a place I want to spend a few hours.
And I'm not being judgmental about, the clientele, but that's part of the vibe.
Yeah.
It's the clientele.
Yeah.
That's why I like that restaurant in Chicago, because it was like all kind of kindred spirits. It was all artists. It was all entertainers.
Yeah.
And you felt free in there.
Yeah. So these are the places that we both love and adore and enjoy. So when we come back, we're about to take a break.
Yeah. Well, this is the hook. Get ready for the hook.
Yeah, get ready for the
Here's
hook.
the hook. We are the kings of hooks.
When we come back, we are going to meet someone we actually heard about from one of our listeners.
Yes.
So good on you.
Yes. Thanks for going to our website.
Go to the website, yes, and tell us about people like this. But when we come back, we're going to meet someone who not only owns and operates a legendary restaurant that has all three of those things, the great food, the great service, and the great vibes, right? But he also serves all of that up with a heaping helping side of good humans, which I know makes it sound like it's a cannibalistic restaurant. It's not. It's not that.
That's that.
No.
I'll eat them if they've got that Dijon mustard. Pretty much anything. I'll put ketchup on it.
We're going to meet an incredible restaurateur who does incredible things, not just in his restaurant, but in his community. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Be good humans, be good humans, be good humans, or we will think you suck.
Welcome back to the Be Good Humans podcast.
Indeed.
Here's a little story for you.
Okay, go.
When our guest today left his home in Italy to come to America in 1980, he had $200 in his pocket. And, oh, by the way, he didn't speak one word of English.
Oh, man.
And then finding employment in the hospitality industry, he went from dishwasher to busboy to server to general manager.
Oh, I love these stories.
And then in 1987, he became the owner of the acclaimed Anaheim White House Restaurant.
He owns the White House.
He owns the White House.
That is one of the coolest restaurants in all of the OC.
Now, that whole story I just said, that's pretty amazing stuff, right? But it doesn't even come close to his greatest accomplishments.
There's more?
Oh, yeah. His accomplishments have earned him much, much deserved global admiration. We are most honored to welcome Sir Bruno Serato. Let me just say before we get started, you heard me say sir. It's sir. He's been knighted.
Sir Bruno Serato.
But he's been knighted twice.
Twice?
Twice. Two different governments.
Wow.
So I'm not sure do we call him Sirs Bruno or Sir Bruno? Oh, I know. Sir Bruno squared.
Oh, that's good. I just don't want to blow it because we've never had royalty on the show.
Oh, my God.
Thank you, Sir Bruno, Chef Bruno, whatever you prefer to be called. We are delighted.
Just call me Bruno. It's good enough. Thanks, Brian and Trey. Thank you, guys.
Okay.
Bruno. Yes, Chef. Yes, Chef.
Yes, Chef.
Yes, Chef.
Thank you for being here. And
but you must bow before we start.
I'm a little genuflex when you say that, mister.
Well, by the way, with good reason, and I don't know if you got the bell handy, but like we should really talk about these accomplishments because, and by the way,
let's begin with that because it's a good way to start this.
I agree, because hard enough to open a restaurant anywhere.
Yeah.
Much less, okay, let's start out. Hard enough to arrive in a country with $200 in your pocket and not speak the language.
Yeah, exactly.
Then work your way up through the restaurant business, which is incredibly challenging in all kinds of ways. Then own and operate a restaurant, which is just mind-bogglingly difficult in a city or in an area like Southern California, right? But then to do everything he's done, get ready to ring some bells, right? Because for his humanitarian work alone,
which we're going to get into,
Chef Bruno has earned local, national, international publicity. We are talking about, among his many honors, Chef Bruno is a CNN hero. He, as yes, Brian has correctly suggested, been knighted not just by the Italian government, but knighted by the Royal House of Savoy. He is an Ellis Island Medal of Honor recipient.
Oof.
He has been papally blessed in the Vatican.
He's been blessed by the Pope.
By Pope Francis.
I'm going to try to get scheduled to have that happen. Who do you call?
I'll get
blessed
you
by
that
the
number
Pope?
after the show.
All right. Now, does he come to you, or is it outsource?
Oh, Brian,
insort?
you're so far removed.
All
okay. Humanitarian, get this. A humanitarian award Chef Bruno received on the steps of the U.S. Capitol.
Wow. By the way, that was unfortunately on January 6th.
No, it was not.
It was not a good
No.
day to be on the steps of the Capitol.
He received the key of the city of Anaheim, hundreds of proclamations and awards. But here's the thing: all of that, dear Be Good Humans listeners and viewers, is a tease because we're going to start back with the White House and work our way back. Chef Bruno, what can you tell us? Now, we know that the White House, it's quite historic. By the way, I think it's another 10 years older than Musso and Frank. Opened in 1909, I believe.
And by the way, the exterior looks like the White House.
Hence the name. It's a replica of the White House,
beautiful.
right?
Yeah.
Opened in 1909. But beyond that, what can you tell us about the White House, Chef Bruno?
Well, the White House was a residence in 1909
Okay.
from a doctor. I think it was from Czech Republic. He had 9 children, all bedroom upstairs, living room dining room downstairs. It's a stunning, gorgeous, beautiful building.
It is.
I mean, unfortunately, I lost everything in 2007 because of a fire in 2017.
Yeah.
And I had to rebuild and everything, but because it was historical, I had to rebuild exactly the same way it was in 1909, which I did it.
How long did the renovation take?
Almost 2 years.
Wow.
Yeah, a year and 6 months, I think it was. And remodeling the interior, my style, which is Italian.
Yeah.
But the exterior is exactly the way it used to look like. It is stunning, really. When you walk in, especially at night with all the light, you say, wow, wow, wow.
It's beautiful. And by the way, this is a place that is beloved, not just by locals, but by all kinds of visiting
critically acclaimed
dignitaries and hoopla. Like you've fed presidents and celebrities,
star
and
athletes,
international athletes. Yeah, all kinds of people. Why do you think people are so drawn to this restaurant?
Well, when you see the photo of the restaurant, and like you mentioned earlier, you have to have the food, the service, the vibe. But when you see the picture of the restaurant built in 1909, you want to go there. It's nothing else to say. You say, I want to go. And when you go there, you want to take your friends the next time.
Okay.
That's what happened. And people's like, I might take my date or my mom or my friends because it's such a unique experience to dine in a restaurant like this. And after COVID, I had the garden outside and I started to use it the dining room. And I have lucky enough that I have almost 1 acre of the property.
Wow.
I was able to put 25 tables in the garden, which easy to see a restaurant with 25, 30 tables in the garden.
Yeah.
It's that is also stunning too, because you eat outside in the garden and you look at the building right there next to you. It's magical.
And if I'm not mistaken, there's also like a bar area on a balcony where you can eat and drink and also watch fireworks from Disneyland.
Okay.
Like it's
every night at 9:30.
All right. Well, we want to get into this now because you started something so beautiful. You founded something so wonderful. It's called Caterina's Club. Your mother, her name was Caterina. So can we go back to your mother is visiting you, or maybe she's living here now, but you guys go to you both go to visit a Boys and Girls Club. What happened at that moment?
We were at the Boys Girls Club in Anaheim, which is only 5 minutes drive from my restaurant. And Mom was here on vacation. And that was April 18, 2005, 19 years ago. And at the Boys Girls Club was a little kid, like 8, 9 years old kid, eating potato chips. Normal things that you can see a kid do it, right? But Mike Baker, the director of the club, said, Bruno, that is probably his only dinner today.
Oh.
I said, what are you talking about? He said, well, we have a lot of children, low-income kids, like you see at the Boys Girls Club most of the time. But we also have a lot of kids that live with family in a motel. I said, what do you mean they live in a motel? He said, yeah. I said, when you see motel sign on the street, it's not just for one night sleeping or when you're a tourist. Some people use that as a residence.
Mm-hmm.
But there's not even kitchen in the room. I mean, mom cannot even cook for them.
Right.
Right.
And beside the motel room, sometimes you find obviously prostitution, drug addict, etc., etc.
Mm-hmm.
And I translated to mom about that situation, the potato chip kids. And mom, as an Italian mom, said, "But Bruno, why don't you do a pasta for the kids?" And that was the first day, first club, 19 years ago.
Okay, so from that one warm meal that your mother ordered you
like any good mother would,
to drive back to your restaurant and get this kid some pasta, from that one meal, we are talking to a chef, ladies and gentlemen, that serves well over 5,000 underprivileged children, not every year, not every month, but every single day.
in like 90 different centers,
Yep.
right? This is unbelievable, and for good reason, sadly, because there's roughly 400,000 residents in Orange County alone who are struggling to meet their food needs on a regular basis. 1 in 50 kids are at risk of hunger each month. And so, Chef Bruno, I don't know if you knew this at the time, but you obviously plugged into a very deep need that you have continued to meet.
Yeah, I mean, remember, I started with 1 kid. We went to 50, 100, 200 meals a day, 1,000 meals a day. And now we have 5,000 meals every day. And it's like, and they stop. It keep growing. And 2 months ago, I did a big celebration at the restaurant. I invited 200 kids. I love kids to also see my restaurant because
Sure.
I have a celebrity, regular customer present, but I want to give hope to those kids. If I came to this country, pour $200 in my pocket, if I can do it, you can do it. I mean, when they come to the restaurant, they just love it. But the celebration was to celebrate the 10 million meals served
10 million meals.
in 19 years.
I have some numbers here, and I think these are the latest ones, but they haven't been updated yet.
Okay.
But I'm going to use his number. Over 10 million meals served to date.
Unbelievable.
140 sites in over 30 cities. That number's probably gone up since this was written. Nearly 300 families relocated in another program that he started.
Another program?
Another program called Welcome Home. We're going to talk about that.
Okay.
And more than 850 students have participated in another program he founded, Hospitality Academy. Viva la pasta!
Oh, my God.
Viva la pasta. That's what mom always say.
Cool.
Well, Chef Bruno, look, I mean, I know you're a devout Catholic who's been blessed by the Pope, literally, but are you sure you're not trying to replace the Pope? Or are you vying for sainthood here?
I'm busy. I'm too busy preparing the food for the kids. I don't have time to keep going to Rome.
You get our vote for saint.
Even if I'm going next weekend, I have to go to Rome for a special event.
Oh,
Special
wow.
event.
Wow.
So now it's Chef Bruno, it's
Yep.
Sir Bruno, and I think Saint Bruno.
Saint Bruno, yeah. Let's go ahead and add
Absolutely.
that to the list of monikers.
Now you have to be dead first.
Okay, well, let's not do that.
Let me wait. Let me wait.
So
Exactly.
as if feeding 5,000 underprivileged children daily through Caterina's Club isn't enough.
Yep.
You didn't stop there. No, sir. You did not.
Right.
You decided to do more, and that's when you came up with first, Welcome Home, and then secondly, Hospitality Academy. Let's talk about Welcome Home first, sir.
Well, welcome home. Amazing story. The same director of that club, Mike Baker. One time I was at the club with kids. I went to Mike and I said, Mike, there's 2 kids over there. They never smile. It's always, they look like they're in a bad mood. Is there anything we can do for them? He said, well, let me tell you the story, Bruno, the family. They live in a motel, 6 of them, 4 children, mom and dad. They been living in a motel in one room for over 12 years. I said, like, what? 12 years in one room? I said, yeah. And there's no kitchen, like I mentioned earlier. I mean, I said, but why? Why? Because the problem of the motel family cannot afford first and last month deposit,
Right.
Mm-hmm.
which then was maybe 2,000, 2,500. I mean, I came up with an idea. Well, if I do pay first and last month, raising money for it, maybe I can move them out. It took me 3 months to talk to the parents because they didn't want me to talk to me because they keep saying, what does he want from us? What does he want from us? Nobody never helped us.
Yeah, right.
Finally, the boy was able to tell mom and dad, Bruno's a good man, a very good guy. He said, you should talk to him. He has a beautiful restaurant. Let's go to his restaurant. You feel comfortable. And they came. And that's what they did. Paid the first and last month, moved them out, changed the life completely.
Of course.
And every time they not find a family need, they have to qualify, obviously. They have to have a job because they need to pay the rent. They don't have to be drug or alcoholic. We have a qualification system. Yesterday, my girls in office called me up and say, guess what, Chef Bruno? We just qualified 2 family, and we moved them out this week. And I mean, every time we have a family, they needed to be helped. That's what we are here for, because we give them food, we give them home, and I give them job with hospitality program.
And you give them hope,
Yeah,
which is just extraordinary.
Life change is amazing. Life change, I can't describe all my situation I have with children, with mother, with father, single mother, single father, kids.
Yeah.
They live in a car.
Yeah.
They can't afford to pay the rent, but they can't afford to pay first and last month. Because to save $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 is not easy for
Impossible,
those people.
yeah.
Yeah. So God at this point would be saying, hey, Bruno, that's cool, man. You've done enough. Thank you.
You're making me look bad.
Really, really, really good, overachiever. Appreciate it. But thanks a lot. But no, you went even further. You founded another program called Hospitality Academy. This I love as well.
This is in conjunction with the Anaheim School District, right?
We students from any of the Anaheim School District try to bring me kids every time I need some. Sometimes we don't have enough. I'm still looking for some right now. I'd like to have more kids follow the program because I thought so. After I mentioned, the pastor, the welcome home, I say, if a kid can make $200, $300, $400 a month, it can help mom and dad.
Sure.
Or it can help himself.
Sure.
Right.
I mean, it's cool to see kids. A few of them get hired by us because sometimes we need extra busboy or extra waiter. I mean, few of them still work for me after years that we move them out or we teach them.
And I was going to ask you, Chef, how many of these people that you are helping, the kids you are feeding, the people you are housing, the children you are educating, how many of these people keep in contact with you? And I mean, your phone must be ringing off the hook with thank yous and appreciations and all day long.
One of the biggest moments was, like I mentioned earlier, celebrate the 10 million meals served 2 months ago. The first kid, Billy, now he's 20 or 21, came up and showed up at the restaurant. We look at each other, we both cry. That's it. I have nothing else to say. We both cry.
Well, that leads me into 4 words that you were quoted saying, and I don't know there's a better way to describe you. And the 4 words you said were my soul is rich.
Yeah, same as my mom.
Yeah, I mean, you have planted so many seeds, Chef, and really like created so much hope for so many people, and nothing stops this man, including, because you mentioned it earlier, the fire in 2017, $2 million worth of damage. It would bring anybody to their knees.
And one of his staff actually told reporters this. You've learned about it about 4:00 in the morning.
Yeah.
And you're driving to racing there. It took half the time it usually does to get to, and you see your beloved restaurant that's burning down, and your first thought, according to a staff member, and I 100% believe this, is how am I going to feed the kids?
And that thought is what drove him not 2 days later, with the help of some other local restaurants rallying around and some churches getting involved. 2 days later, he went right back to feeding hungry kids, I'm sure, while the restaurant was still smoldering. I
think the next day, one day later, we never lost one day.
One day, yeah.
Well, I was lucky. The bishop of Orange County the Christ Cathedral, used to be the Crystal Cathedral.
Yeah.
He said, Bruno, I just find out from TV because the news was all over the country. He said, if you need a kitchen, you're welcome to use our kitchen. And I said, thank you, Bishop. And we used the kitchen for a year and a half.
Fantastic.
Then we never lost one day to cook for the kids. And that was, sometimes I just tell people, sometimes when tragedy happened to you, people get in alcohol, drunk, suicide. I mean, you hear so many stories when tragedy happened. My medication was to serve the kids pasta. It kind of make me forget, and I lost everything. I was still doing the same thing, feeding the kids pasta. That was an amazing situation to be in some location cooking pasta for the kids. And I was forgetting that I didn't have any more restaurant, didn't have any more job.
Chef, can you speak, because we want to throw props to where props are obviously very, very due. Can you talk about your staff and team of volunteers that somehow pull this off daily? The logistics seem mind-boggling.
Well, I have an amazing crew behind me from A to Z. People work for me for a long time. My chef, 35 years. My GM, 34 years. My bartender, 37 years. And we're still all young and beautiful, and we still
you are.
years and years together. But remember, you cannot do anything by yourself if you don't have an amazing crew behind you.
Yeah.
And the crew behind me at the restaurant, at Caterina's club, in the catering department, amazing. I would never change the crew for nothing else in the world. It's the one who give me the strength to keep doing what I do also.
Just unbelievable. So really, I think you've left Brian and I with two main questions. Number one, when we come to the White House, and we are absolutely coming to the White House now, what is the specialty we must order? What's the thing that we have to have?
Well, one of my, couple items on appetizer.
Okay.
When I was a busboy general manager, I worked in a French restaurant called La Vie en Rose.
Okay.
It was the best French restaurant in Orange County then. It's not there anymore. He had the escargot.
Oh! This is our favorite.
We have an ongoing quest between the two of us, because in our group, of all our friends, we're the only two people who cherish a good escargot.
Better than Ferris.
Okay. Well, all right.
I swear to God, that's not a setup.
Another item, I did a special ravioli, lobster ravioli.
Oh, yeah.
I did it for Gwen Stefani a long time ago.
Oh, okay.
And Gwen loved it so much, and she's an Anaheim girl, as you all know.
Yeah.
And we decided to put them on the menu. And I did something that I created myself by mistake. I do a poached salmon served with white chocolate mashed potato.
Oh,
wow.
That is a big sales.
What kind of mashed potato?
It's white chocolate. You
heard him correctly.
White chocolate mashed potato.
Yeah, I'm in.
Wow.
I'm in. Okay, so look, you guys, you can learn more about the restaurant and all of its amazing dishes in history at AnaheimWhitehouse.com. You can also learn more about Sir/Chef/Saint Bruno and how to read his incredible book, by the way, which is called The Power of Pasta. You can learn all of that at ChefBrunoSerato.com. But far more importantly, Chef, if people want to get involved in helping support your many incredible missions, whether it's Caterina's Club or the Welcome Home Program or the Hospitality Academy, I'm guessing the best place for them to go would be CaterinasClub.org. Is that right?
Perfectly.
CaterinasClub.org. We're also going to post a link on our Be Good Humans podcast site so you can get all the details there.
And as your mother would say, Viva la pasta.
Viva la pasta.
And now, as we and our listeners would say, Viva la Bruno.
Yeah. I mean, you are the reason we wanted to do this kind of a show in the first place, Chef, because...
Well, that and the free food we might get.
Well, yeah, we're going for the escargot. But truthfully, as you said yourself so eloquently, when times are down and when things are ugly around you, you got to double down and triple down on your efforts to put some love into the universe. And you, sir,
much better than hate.
Yeah, your soul is rich. Thank you so much for being here with us, and we hope to have you on again.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll be here anytime you want me.
And we will be at the White House very soon, within a month, I hope.
We're going to come down for some
Don't
escargot.
come before I'm going to a birthday party in Rome. She's turning 90.
Wow.
She's the best gorgeous woman in the world. And it's called Sophia Loren.
No, you're going to Sophia Loren's birthday party in Rome. Who is it?
Wow.
Yeah, oh my God.
You are living your very best life, sir.
See, blessed by the Pope.
I know. I know. Wow.
What's the best?
But she loves what they do. I'll be honest with you. She loves what they do. Carlo Ponte Jr., son, my friend, too. He loves what they do in my charity. He support my charity. And this is a special birthday down in Rome.
Always.
And they would love me to be there, and I could not say no to Sophia.
Please tell Sophia that happy birthday for us, and that she owes me like $50. So if you could maybe wiggle that out of her.
Yeah, don't tell her that. Thank you very much for joining us, sir. It's been an absolute honor and privilege.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ciao.
Be good humans, be good humans, be good humans, or we will think you suck.
Welcome back to the Be Good Humans podcast. That was amazing.
So amazing.
Now, we research the guests.
Yeah.
If they're kind enough to want to come on our show, and we want to kind of know what we're talking about, we just stop chewing for 10 seconds. It's a donut.
Sorry.
It's, you're going to eat another.
I'm especially hungry now talking about escargot and pasta and everything else. Come on.
But in the research that I know you felt the same thing that I did. It was like, what? Really?
Yeah.
Really? Have I been living under a rock? I don't. All these interviews he's done on CNN.
Guy's unbelievable.
He's
unbelievable.
He is a saint. He is truly, truly an amazing, amazing person. And as a side note, for those of you who aren't watching this on YouTube or wherever you watch the video or podcast, he's doing this interview from his kitchen, which apropos, right? But the most heartwarming thing to me is that his kitchen is so humble.
I know.
It's like the size of, your kitchen in the house you grew up in.
Warm, humble, sweet.
Humble.
I just wanted to sit at the table with him. And
there was a toaster oven on the thing, an air fryer. It was so sweet of him.
Just unbelievable. And we are blessed to have had him in our presence. As we also feel the same way about you guys. Thank you for being here with us.
But yeah,
I'll be the yang to
not
that
as
yin.
much as,
we are delighted to have you here.
Yeah,
and,
but not as much as him.
We also thank you for following us on the socials.
He's here, and you guys are.
And by the way, we especially thank you because one of our listeners again turned us on to Chef Bruno and the White House.
That's the kind of thing we love.
This is why we encourage you so much to go to BeGoodHumansPodcast.com. Tell us about the good humans in your lives. Tell us all of your pointers.
Sean, do we have the name of the nice lady who sent us a story about Chef Bruno?
Way to put Sean on the spot. He'll have it within seconds. Thank you for all of your support, and do please go to BeGoodHumansPodcast.com not only to get a direct link to Caterina'sClub.org and the ways that you can support. I'm trying to stall as much as I can for you here, Sean.
Lorianne Gibson. Thank you, Lorianne Gibson.
Thank you.
Look what happened. Look at the gift you just gave us.
I know. You are awesome. So,
Viva la Gibson.
Viva la Gibson and Viva la Escargot and Viva la Good Humans. We really appreciate you being with us. We will see you next time.
Be good humans. Bye-bye.
Be good humans. Be good humans. Be good humans, or we will think you suck.
Be Good Humans is executive produced by Brian Phelps, Trey Callaway, and Grant Anderson, with associate producers Sean Fitzgerald and Clementine Callaway in partnership with Straw Hut Media. Please like, follow, and subscribe, and remember, be good humans.